Hello and welcome back to my channel. At first I want to say thank you for all your sweet comments on my last video. I was so excited to upload this video. I think you noticed in the video that I was pretty excited and a little bit afraid to talk in English. I think today is going to be better. And in today's video I want to talk about the books that I've read in June. And I need my book because I can't remember what I read all. No, that's a joke. I remember this month what I read because in the last month I read, I think in May I read 14 books and I can't remember anything about the books that I've read last month. So the goal of this month was to read not that much, and I reached that goal. I read read only 6 books, so still enough. And now let's talk about these books. The first book I read was Daughter of Smoke and Bone. This was the secondary pick from that was the secondary pick for this month to buddy read from the Patreon buddy read from Mel Reads, and I gave this book 3 stars out of 5. I think the most thing that bothered me in this book was that nothing really happened in this book. You don't get important information. It goes really slow with the information about the world, etc. What's happening in this world. I mean, the relationship between the 2 main characters is built up really fast. And I read one Goodreads comment that the book reminds them more of a Romeo and Juliet retelling than really a fantasy book. And I think the romance part was really good. If this was labeled as a romance book, I would have gave it 5 out of 5 stars because that was really good, but mainly because of this fantasy label, I don't really like it. So don't read it. I'm listening to it as an audiobook, and that was Get a Life, Chloe Brown. And that's a trilogy about the Brown sisters, and I pick it up because I want to do a puzzle and I need something to listen to, and I really like it. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. I think Get a Life, Chloe Brown is the best read of this month for me. I really enjoy it. I like Chloe Brown as a character. I think her problem is that she's chronically ill and she wants to get her life back, as it says in the title, Get a Life, Chloe Brown. And I think the one part, because I like this book so much is that Chloe Brown reminds me a little bit of myself. And it was really inspiring to read this book and that she wants to get her life back, and I think that fits very well to me too. Because I want to also get my life back. I like Red as a character too, because of his problems to build a relationship. It was a really good book. I mean, of course, the smut scenes was sometimes a little bit awkward to listening to. I think if I had read them, it will be a much better solution than listening to this talk. Okay, but yeah, I love it. I can't wait to listening to the other Brown Sister books. Okay, let's talk about a book that I finally managed to finish to read. Was this a correct sentence? I don't know, but I don't care, because I finally finished to read The Crown of Gilt Bones. And the more I think about this book, I think I'm going to change my rate. I needed so long to finish this book. I started this book last month in May. When I finished this, it was such a relief. And while reading this, I thought about to give this book 3 stars. And just because of the ending of the book, really, because of the last 2 chapters, I give this book 4 stars. Because Poppy had characters which I really liked. But the more I think about this book, I think I'm going to change my rate, because only of the 2 last chapters I can give this book 4 stars, because I don't enjoy to read this book. So I think I'm going to more like 3 or 3.5. I hope you understand. I think you will understand. So I think the most thing was bothering me in this book, that's why I needed so long to read this, is that in this book Jennifer Armentrout was so more concentrated on the scenes that for me are not really necessary to build up. The scenes that I think was not necessary to me goes so long, and they talk about this so long, they had conversations, it goes over chapters. These scenes for me were, I think, was important. I can't speak about it because it's a spoiler, but it was done in like 3 sentences. It was like, yeah, we can do this now, and I was like, yeah, but what? Why do you do this in 3 sentences when everything before goes over chapters, and now it's like, blah, done, here, for you. And I think this whole book was not really necessary. I think not that it can then be done in the other book, but I think you can short like 300 pages out of it and put it into the next book and give us the next book more earlier. Jennifer, what is this? Yeah, I changed my rating to 3 stars. That was chaotic. I promise you that this video is not going to be so chaotic, and then I talk about this book and it's going to be chaotic. But this book too. It was chaotic. It was exhausting. It was no, 3 stars, not 4. I shit on this last 2 chapters. Okay, that was wild. Let's talk about the next 2 books. Fuck. Okay. I read King of Scars, and this was a reread for me, because I wanted to read Rudolph Wills this month, but I can't remember what's happening in the first book, so I reread it. I read this last year for the first time, and when I read this, I gave this 5 stars. And now that I reread this book, I did not enjoy this book as much as I did last year. So I did not change my rating, but I stick still with the 5 stars rating. What I need to say, don't think that you're meant to read this book. It is still a good book, but I think when I think about now, I think my last year's rating was a little bit too high, but I don't want to change it because I don't enjoy this book this time. I think the last year, sorry, and enjoyed this book, so I stick with it, 5 stars. But what I need to say about this book is I love Nikolai, I love Zoya. I think these 2 characters are the favorite characters, my favorite characters of all time. I hated Zoya in the original trilogy, and Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, you know, these books. But I needed to say that I don't enjoy these books either, so yeah. But in these books I enjoy Zoya very much. I think she has a tragic backstory, like I think all of the Libertadores characters have. So it gets kind of understanding why she acts like that. And I really love it. And I love Nikolai, he is such a fun character. If I notice the person in real life, I think we're not going to be best friends, but I enjoy this in this book. And I also love all of the other main, of the side characters, and yeah, I enjoy this book. Not much that I enjoyed this last year, but I still enjoy this book. Okay, now on to the next one. Then I read World of Rose right after King of Scars, because I wanted to know what's happening in this book. Let's talk about Nina first. I did not enjoy Nina in the Six of Crows series because I don't really like her character, but after this point, what's happening in the second book from this dual trilogy, how does this called? Six of Crows and the other book. I hope you know what I mean, because I only remember the German title right now. Something happens in this book, and after that Nina's character changed. And this is something I really enjoyed in these two books, in King of Scars and Rule of Rose, that Nina's character was like, she was a really happy character, a happier character in the Six of Crows series, and now she's a really dark character in King of Scars and Rule of Rose, and I enjoyed that. I enjoy Sawyer and Nikolai like I did in King of Scars. One thing that I don't like in this book is that sometimes, especially with Nikolai's character, Nikolai's perspective in these books is that you do something, but you already read in his perspective, but you don't get this full experience why Nikolai changed his mind and did something different. And I think that's something I don't like in this book, because you already read something in his perspective, in this character perspective, and you still don't get the full thinking experience. What is the character thinking right now? Why does he change his opinion on this, what he wants to do in the other chapters, and now he don't do this? Why don't he do this? Do you know what I mean? I hope you know, but I mean, Nikolai's character is that, what I can describe it best, is bouncy. Is this a good description of a character? I don't know, but he changed his opinion like day and night, so bounce back and forth, and I think that bothers me. Okay, that's why 4.5. And last, not least, I read One Last Stop from Casey McQuiston. What I need to say about this book. I think I go into this book with a false expectation what's happening in this book. At first I thought it is only a romance book, like Red, White and Royal Blue. But don't worry, I don't say the same thing, but Jen says on TikTok. That's another story, but that's not what I'm going to say. But I like this book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, so don't get me wrong. But what I don't like in the story was the romance story, because not because the two lesbians, like other people have problems with that. That's not the reason, but the reason that I don't like this romance was the setting in the substation. I know it says, I mean, you say it on the cover, it stays on the back, but when I read this, I still don't like the romance build up in the substation, in the tube. I mean, that's a gross place. There are a lot of bacteria, there are a lot of people. I was never in New York, but I only know what the New York substation looks like. because of what other people tell me or what I see in TikToks or something like that, or YouTube videos or films on something. So you don't want to have, okay, spoiler, but I think you know that's what's going to happen, but you have sex in the substation. Ew! 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 And that's not because they're lesbians, it's because it's a substation. That's the only thing I hate about this book. It was like, oh my god. Oh, in the substation, all that, these bacteria. Do you know how many bacteria are on people's pants when they sit on the seats? Oh. Oh. Okay. I hope. I need a break. A second. Okay, I think I'm calm now, but I hope you know what I mean. So, that's the only thing that bothers me in the books. What I enjoy in this book is this kind of twist in the story. That's not only a romance book. It's more about this. Is it really fantasy? It's not fantasy. I would say it's more like so sci-fi, time travel kind of stuff, and that's what I really enjoy. How like August and her friends search up like what's happened with Jane in the past, and I really enjoy this part. Okay. So I still give this book 5 out of 5 stars. I don't think that's my favorite book of this month. I still think it's Get a Life Program. That's my favorite book of this month. But I really enjoy this book. But in a substation. Ew. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. But I hope you understand. I need to say the reason why I don't like this that much. The whole build-up in the substation for the romance is that I don't travel with public transfer. I don't go on a bus, on a train, on something like that because I know how many bacteria are there. So I don't go into this, and I think that's why I don't like this romance setting. Not the romance between them, because I really enjoy them both together. I think they're really cute and such a lovely couple. But it's so that was kind of chaotic too. But now at the end I want to talk about 2 books more, because okay, let's only talk about one book. I'm currently reading right now Stella, Dark and Hollow Star and Emma from Jane Austen. Dark and Hollow Star is from Ashley Shuttleworth. Okay, I don't think that I'm going to finish Emma today, because I'm currently on page 202. That is a really small book, that's why there are a lot of pages in there. I think it's over 700. I don't think I'm going to finish this book, so that's why this is going to be a side, but I think I'm going to finish A Dark and Hollow Star today, because I'm currently on page 540, I think, and this book has only 499 pages, so it's nothing much left, I think. I have only 85 pages left, so I write in here what kind of rating I give this book. But I'm currently thinking that I give this book 4 stars, because I really enjoy the story. In the beginning it was a little bit hard to get into the story. I think mainly because there's a really big world building in this book happening. And if you know, my actual language is German, and this book is released only in English yet. So I read this book in English. So I don't know many words, and in the beginning it was a little bit hard because of times change was in the beginning really rough, so I heard the audiobook of it, and I really enjoyed the audiobook because there's different speakers. Two of them are not that good, but you notice in which character speaks on which part of the book you are. I think that's what I really enjoy. But yesterday I wanted to finish this book, but I zoned out while I play Sims, and then I listening to this audiobook, and I zoned so much out that I can't even remember on which part of the book I was, so I needed to go back. And now I know why I'm currently here. So yeah, I love the characters. I love Celadon. I really love his character. There are so much scenes in there. I love So Hard, and I love Nausicaa. She's a really badass character. I really enjoyed it, and Arlo is a pretty interesting character because I wanted to really know which kind of magic she has. Now I know a little bit, but I think I enjoy this book, and I think I'm going to read the next books when they will be will be released. So yeah, that's technically I am going to have 7 books this month. So that was all. You see, I did not read that much this month, but I think this was better than the last month where I read really much, and I really enjoyed my time with this book. And this is the important thing, that you don't have to read many books. It is still good to read not that much books. Okay, so this was the video. I hope you enjoy it. I know I say this in the beginning, but I still need to say this. Thank you very much for your lovely comments on my last video. You don't have an idea how much this means to me. And yeah, when you enjoy this video, if you like this video, I really enjoy this when you like this video, when you follow my channel if you want to, and in the description down there sends my social media when you want to follow there too. I really enjoy that. So goodbye. Have a nice day whenever you watch this video.